Let's talk about how our nervous system impacts our behaviors. This is just one facet that I'll be explaining, but the other day I had a client asking me, how do I address conflict with somebody, right? So if he has like a partner or somebody who is pushing his buttons, who's triggering him, where they have a lot of conflict that doesn't really lead to anywhere. Now, keep in mind, in our current session, we're working on breathwork exercises. And so I explained to him the reason I'm sharing with him how to work on breathwork exercises is because of this. Often in communication, what happens is that when we get triggered or our buttons get pushed, we immediately go into a fight or flight. We get defensive, we shut down, we feel this urge to say something reactive to them. That's not likely to be helpful. Now, ideally, what we want to happen during effective conflict resolution or difficult conversations is this. If we recognize somebody who's pushing our buttons, they're saying something that's not helpful, not only do we recognize that we are not in a place to discuss, to reasonably have a conversation, we also recognize they may not be in a place to have a reasonable conversation. So ideally what happens is that we notice this. We notice that we are in fight or flight. We notice that we are really heightened, and we pause and set a boundary. We say, hey, I'm not in the right headspace right now to discuss this. I need to come back to this, or let's come back to this later. Or I can't take this right now. I'm so anxious or I'm so heightened. We need to pause. We need to walk away. And so ideally you set a boundary and then you do your breath work or calming strategies. And then you can come back and have a more effective, productive conversation that hopefully both of you have made the effort to calm down to what we call a rest or digest or window of tolerance state. Now, here's what gets tricky. Where most people get stuck is between that reaction, the person triggering you, and your ability to recognize that you are in a fight or flight. Most people don't get to that point. Most people struggle with recognizing I'm in fight or flight and that they need to pause. So their automatic reaction is to react or shut down. And so what breath work does is that it helps you long term because it's helping you recognize to pause and notice what's going on in your body, what's going on in your thoughts, and before you react, before you respond, you can set that boundary. So I'm addressing the long term of understanding we need breath work first. As much as we would like an immediate, effective solution to just fix everything, that's not how it works. If you don't know how to pause and recognize that you are in a fight or flight and to set that boundary and to stop the conversation, you're not going to be able to get very far. And this applies to any situation and any relationship, whether that's with your child, whether that's with a colleague or a partner. In conflict, the goal is to notice and recognize what is going on inside ourselves, how to regulate our nervous system. Otherwise, sometimes it can be very difficult to control and regulate our behaviors.